Hi, welcome to Coffee at the Crossroads. Today I want to talk about how to make the most of your trip to Greece. If you're planning a trip to Greece, hopefully this is kind of some helpful hints. I want to talk about some of the basic phrases and words that you can possibly use. Before we get into that, my name is Bill. This is Coffee at the Crossroads. Welcome. If you're new here, thanks for joining. If you're a returning viewer, of course, thank you so much for coming back. So let's jump in. I want to talk about my wife and I just got back from a recent trip to Athens, and I want to talk about that. I'm doing kind of a series of videos on our trip, some of our experiences, some of tips and tricks, to sort of maximize your experience, and that's sort of part of that. This is just some of the words or phrases in Greek. That hopefully will help you get more out of your time. So first, I want to say everybody in Athens speaks English, so you don't be intimidated by, oh my goodness, I gotta learn to speak Greek. Absolutely not. Most Greeks speak way better English than your Greek. That's the reality. But having said that, my wife and I couldn't get over how warm and welcoming the Greek people are, and how encouraging they were when we tried to speak Greek. Greek's hard, right? Like the letters are all different, even though the word alphabet comes from Greek. The Greek alphabet is different from the English alphabet. So I guess I shouldn't call it the English alphabet, the Romanized alphabet. Sorry, all you Latin speaking people. It's not just an English alphabet, it's a Romanized alphabet. Anyway, the Greek alphabet's different, so you'll look at signs and not read them, not understand what it's saying and all that stuff. And the Greek language is tough, but there are just a few phrases that you can learn that are pretty easy. And like I said, you wouldn't believe the response you get when you try. We would say like one word and people would be like, oh wow, nice Greek, it's so good, you have a great accent. And they would say all these things. They were probably lying, but they were super friendly. And it kind of opened up the experience for us. We felt like we were, just by saying a simple Greek word, suddenly a passing kind of connection they would stop and go, oh, do you speak Greek? And no, just a few words. And oh, it's really good, and you can say this, and this is how you say that, and whatever. People were willing to just stop and give their time, and it created this experience for us, this environment where we were able to just get so much more out of our trip. In some of my other videos, I talk about talking to strangers, and so it was an opportunity to do that by saying a simple Greek word. You had people engage with you, and it was so awesome. It just that's why we go to other countries, right? To learn culture and to try the food and to see the sights and to absorb the history and then the culture and all that stuff. And one of the best ways to do that is to engage with the people, right? And so even just by trying, I think, to be honest, you're going to hear the words as I say them, and they're going to sound rubbish to you. If you speak Greek or your family is Greek or whatever, you're going to go, oh, that guy's pronunciation is terrible. But the Greek people, like so many times, I had one woman say, oh, very nice Greek, you have a great Greek accent. She was just being friendly, I think, but that's not the point, right? Like it's just she was very appreciative that I was giving it a shot, right? So that's hopefully what you can take away from this video is that just give it a shot. Learn one word, learn two words. There's sort of like I've got 6 words that 6 words or phrases, but really it's like if you learn 2, that's gonna you won't believe the response you get from saying thank you or saying good morning. Like you have people like stop and go, it's just we were so. It was such a nice kind of surprising experience. So I'm going to dive into it right now. So the first word that I think everybody should know is Kalimera. So Kalimera means good morning. I mean, it's like English, saying good morning to someone. You see someone on the street, oh, good morning. It's like in France, bonjour, or in Italy, buongiorno, right? Saying Kalimera is just, it's just a friendly thing to do. And when you say Kalimera to some Greek people, they go, oh, Kalimera, Kalimera. They're like so thrilled that you actually said good morning in Greek, right? And that's it's so simple. Kalimera. Kali means good, mera means day, basically means good day, right? Super easy. One little note, if it's the afternoon, then you say Kalispera. 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 But you know what? Honestly, I mean, I don't think we made this mistake. But if you said Kalimera at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they would probably just say Kalimera back because the Greek people are so friendly. They might go, oh, Kalimera, Kalispera, or whatever. They might give you a little correction, or they might go, oh, actually, and they'll give you a Greek lesson. Awesome, right? So you get to engage with people. So Kalimera, Kalispera, good day, basically. Good morning, good afternoon. If you take that away and you stop the video right now, you've gone miles. Because I promise you, if you say Kalimera to someone when you meet them in a coffee shop or on the street or in a shop or whatever, they will be thrilled. The second one, and I think this is just good manners, and so I think we should know how to say this in just about every language when we go to another country, is thank you. And that is Efharisto, Efharisto. It's a hard one because it's not Efharisto, it's Efharisto. You kind of got to, the Greek, they have some sounds that we don't make. So it's Efharisto. Again, sorry Greek people, I'm butchering that. But you wouldn't believe the number of times someone would do something, they'd show us something, we'd buy something, and we'd say, Efharisto, and they would go, oh, Parakalo, thank you, or you're welcome, right? And so saying Efharisto is, if you can practice that one, that and Kalimera, and you're set. Honestly, turn off the video now. You don't have to watch anymore. That's if you take those two away. And it does take a little bit of practice. Efharisto, Efharisto. It's just that little cha in there. It's like F, like the letter F, and then ha, like you're kind of clearing your throat. Aristo. It's that, and it's just, it kind of rolls together. Efharisto. If you say Efharisto, that's going to be fine. But they do kind of make this Efharisto. They kind of make that sound. And then what you'll hear back is the third word is Parakalo. And Parakalo means, it's very versatile. It means please, and it means you're welcome. So that's the third word, Parakalo. Obviously, manners, you want something and you go, oh, can I have a glass of water? Parakalo. Can I have a glass of water, please? And when they bring it, you say, Efharisto. And they're going to be like, oh my goodness, your Greek is so fantastic. You're going to get such a great response. And it opens up those that engagement with people, and you'll have like I said, it made so much of a difference to our experience. So yeah, so that's 3. Okay, so the fourth word, this one we didn't use as often, but you hear it all the time, is Yassou. Yassou is like hi or hey. It's like Greek people meet each other and they're like, hey, yeah, Yassou, Yassou, yeah, Yassou. So like it's a really versatile word. I felt like it was a little bit too familiar. So, like if you just meet somebody and you're like, hey, like that, it felt a little bit like it was a little too familiar. But you'll hear people say, Yassou, Kalimera. So, hey, good morning. And that was how we kind of used it when we were if we were walking in the market or something, we saw somebody, we'd be like, Yassou, Kalimera. And then that was just, it's again, by adding Kalimera to it, you're saying good morning. So you're like, hey, good morning. Hey, good morning. Hey, good morning. You can kind of get into it, right? So, Yassou is one you'll hear all the time. Number 5, and this is an important one, again, for manners, is Sygnomi. Sygnomi. It's a pretty easy one to say because there's no weird sounds with it. Sygnomi. It means excuse me. So you can, if you bump someone, oh, Sygnomi. and that's going to happen in a market. You know, there's lots of people around. But we also used it, maybe incorrectly, but we also used it to be like Sygnomi, like, excuse me, can you help me, right? So, you know, like, oh, Sygnomi, can I have some water? You know, kind of almost like we would say, excuse me, oh, excuse me, like that kind of way. Sygnomi. It's not as important. I mean, you don't hear it as often as you hear. I mean, Greek people say it all the time, obviously, but amongst foreigners, you hear Efharisto, and you hear Parakalo, and you hear Kalimera. Those are the kind of the big three. But you know, Sygnomi is a powerful one, and it's an important one when you're trying to be polite. And now here's my little bonus, because that's 5. But here's my little bonus. This is one that it's an easy one to say. It's a phrase, easy one to say, but it also blows people away. If you're in, we found it to be really, really useful, and I'll explain why when we get into it. But basically, when you're ready to pay, you can say na Pliro Sumeh. It means, can I pay? It's na Pliro Sumeh. Na Pliro Sumeh. You wouldn't believe the number of like heads that turned when you said that. They're like, whoa, holy cow. That's like, now you might be thinking, why would I need to say that? That's not like a common phrase of like, nice to meet you and how are you and all these kind of things. But what we found when we were in a restaurant or in a you know, a coffee shop or whatever, is the Greek people, they don't hurry you out the door. So you'll sit there until you ask to pay. So you eat your food, and then, and I mean, you can say it in English, like, excuse me, you could say, Sygnomi, can I pay my bill? And they'll bring the bill, it's all that stuff. You don't have to say it in Greek. But when you say, na Pliro Sumeh, they're like, ah, wow, that's awesome. So it's a bit of a bonus. Like I said, we got such a great response, and it's an easy one to say, na Pliro Sumeh. So again, apologies to all the Greek people. They're probably like, oh, that dude is butchering our beautiful language. Apologies, but yeah, that's a great one. There's an entire language that you can choose to learn, and you know, I highly encourage you to you know, learn some phrases or whatever. But if you go with just even a handful, you will not believe the experience, the way it will change your experience. Like we were just so thrilled with the responses we got. We got people, oh, your Greek is so good. Oh, you don't have an accent, and you're this and you're that, and oh my goodness, your Greek is. One, we were shopping somewhere, and the lady said, "Are your parents Greek?" And I was like, "Are you kidding? No, of course. My Greek. Anybody who speaks Greek probably can hear that it's not my accent isn't great, but they were just so friendly, and they were so thrilled that we were trying to speak Greek. So it feels like that's a real tip. If you're going, learn a couple words. Like I said, learn to say Kalimera, and learn to say Efharisto and Parakalo, and then, you know, the rest of the other ones, na Pliro Sumeh and, you know, Sygnomi and some of those other ones. They're great, they're powerful, they're great. But if you don't learn those ones, learn to say Kalimera, learn to say Efharisto, and learn to say Parakalo, and you will just make your experience so much more positive. And I also think it sends a really nice message to the country that you're visiting when you learn a few, few words from that in that language, in the local language. It enhances your experience, and it gives something back to those people. You know, the people kind of are like, you know, they go, hey, that's a good traveler, right? He learned something about our country. So yeah, so that's the kind of the words for the day. This is thank you for watching. This is Coffee at the Crossroads. If you like this video, please hit the little thumbs up. Subscribe, please. And until next time, cheers.